Hey guys, Bluebridge here. Today I'm going to be touching on transfers, but the main part of this video is going to be Oliver Holt. I'm coming for you. So before I go on an attack of Oliver Holt, I'm just going to touch on some transfers because there's a lot of cat and mouse, there's a lot of media playing and gamesmanships going around with this transfer merry-go-round at the moment. As we all know, for the 150th time, Simons to Chelsea is close. For the 200th time, Garnacho to Chelsea is close. They only want Chelsea. Fabrizio Romano seems to be especially Garnacho's agent because he keeps posting about the same, regurgitates the same story over and over and over again. It's getting a bit boring now, but we all know that obviously these two players only want Chelsea. So the cat and mouse is like with Bayern Munich. They had all that money to pay for Walter Maida or whatever his name is, but yet they only want Nkunku on a loan. May that make sense? And Chelsea are not being no pushovers. They say, look, we're not sending him on loan. If you want him, cough up. And they're trying to be creative, and this seems like it's falling on deaf ears because we say no, permanent. Oh yeah, we'll come back with something else. But again, it only equates to a loan, and it's not even an obligation. It's a loan with an option. And so Chelsea have rightly thrown it out the door. So David Ornstein reported something later today that the Leipzig, the team who Simons plays for, we want, and a move for Nkunku is dependent on Nkunku leaving the club. So apparently they are willing to buy Nkunku on a permanent. Nkunku is willing to go there. So I'm wondering whether that's a briefing from David Ornstein to try and get Bayern into gear. Because earlier today, Bayern were after Garnacho, apparently. Again, maybe to scare Chelsea into maybe doing a deal with them. But it's backfired because Garnacho says he only wants Chelsea. Don't know why. Probably wants to stay in London. So I think earlier last week, Bayern said they wanted Simons, but Simon rebuffed them as well. So unlucky. So those tactics are not working for Bayern. So if they want Nkunku, they got to cough up. Otherwise, he goes elsewhere, and they end up with nobody. So I hope that will make sense. Yeah, it's a bit complicated, I know. And there's talk about Nicholas Jackson going to Aston Villa with a loan with an obligation. I think with an obligation it still counts for this year's books, if I'm not mistaken. So we can still balance our books with a one in, one out and comply with UEFA. So that may be a deal worth exploring. So that's one to watch. And the last bit of transfer news what I heard today was about Vega off to Sevilla, or what was Sevilla, Valencia, one of the Spanish clubs anyway. And Chelsea want 35. I don't know why, but they want something. They're willing to operate something under 30. So I said cheekily, let's go in. Let's say to them 29.9 million, and he's yours. So we only miss out on and we still make a profit from what did we buy him for 13 million. So that's still a bit of a profit. So come on, guys. You know, if he's obviously we can't play hardball, especially when we've got to get rid of a lot of players. So if we keep all these players and people know that we're desperate, then they're gonna try to get some deals towards the end of the window because we've still got another 7 or 8 players that we need shifting. So if we can get a few more out the door, then we can concentrate on some more outgoings to balance the books. Anyway, all that transfer news out of the way. Oliver Holt, this guy. Journalism is meant to be unbiased, and if you want biased journalism, then you just go to a fanzine or something where you've got fans writing about rivals clubs, and you expect that. But with journalists, you expect unbiased opinions. But Oliver Holt isn't even hiding his bias and hatred toward Chelsea. He's proven to be an embarrassment of a journalist. I don't buy his papers, and I don't even go behind a firewall to read any of his articles. I'm not going to support the people who spout nonsense all the time. The only reason I got to read some of it is because someone had taken a picture of the article and posted it on social media. So I was able to extract a lot of what he was saying. And I'm going to debunk him on everything because the guy's an idiot. First of all, he's saying that the club should be embarrassed about the badge, the World Club Cup badge that we've got. It's a cheap, tatty pound shop badge, he said. But you know what, guys? I'm going to start putting that badge up. So from today's video, I'm putting that World Champions badge up because I'm proud that we've got that blazoned on our shirt for 4 years. So I'm going to be loud and proud about being world champions, and I'll shout it from the rooftop. I don't care. Unashamedly, we are champions of the world, so I'm gonna let that be known from now on. I think I'll have it on there for 4 years. Probably send this video to Oliver Holt to wind him up even more. Oliver, we didn't design this. It wasn't our ruling. FIFA gave us that badge. That would have been the badge for PSG, who would have worn it proudly. That would have been the badge for Real Madrid, who would have worn it proudly. That would have been the badge for Inter Milan, who would have worn it proudly. That would have been the badge for any of these Brazilian teams or Argentinian teams, Boca Juniors, Flamengo, whoever's in it. They would have worn this badge proudly. This joke of a tournament, which a lot of fans, jealous fans from Liverpool and ex-players, Jamie Carragher, I'm talking to you, Arsenal and bitter fans and everything else, they are coming up with a lot of this nonsense about being a pre-season friendly and all this nonsense. And if it was that Real Madrid wanted to win this so bad that they paid £10 million to Liverpool for Trent Alexander-Arnold to play in this tournament, so other teams, PSG, were taking this seriously as well, and they wanted to win it. He saw the fighting what took place afterwards, the hurt that they had at not winning this trophy, for being the inaugural winners of this tournament. So we had Man City as well. They bought players early because they wanted to be the first name on this trophy. So they bought in a lot of these. Their transfer dealings were done with this tournament in mind. So don't tell me that teams didn't take this seriously. Of course they took it seriously, because believe me, I keep banging the same drum, but I'm going to repeat myself for this video. What Oliver Holt is writing is what people wrote in 1955 after we were invited to the Champions League, what is it called back then? It was called the European Cup. People were calling it a joke tournament. The journalists were ridiculing it. And look at it now. This is the tournament that everybody wants to win. So ridicule this tournament as much as you want. It's here to stay. And come 20, 30, 40 years time, this is going to be a big tournament to win. And to win this tournament, Mr. Holt, you'd have had to win the European Cup or the Champions League over the last 4 seasons when it was inaugurated, and we did that, okay? And another bit of nonsense that this guy is writing is saying, oh, Chelsea, they're calling themselves the champions of Europe, world champions, but they weren't even the best team in London. May that make sense? Okay, I'll make it make sense for you, Oliver Holt, if it's not getting through to your thick skull at the moment. Liverpool, 2005. I'll give you a few examples. 2005, Liverpool, they were finished 6th, I think, in the league, some 30 odd points or 40 odd points behind Chelsea. They won the European Cup that season. So let's not call them the champions of Europe that season, because they weren't even the best team in Liverpool. Everton finished above them. Remember, there was that ruling to when there was only 4 teams allowed in. Everton actually finished above them, and UEFA were in a bit of a pickle about what should happen because they hadn't catered for that. So Liverpool weren't the best team in Liverpool. So how could they be called the best team in Europe by Oliver Holt's standard? Even when Chelsea won it, he's contradicting himself as well, and he's embarrassing himself because in 2000, and he's going back to the Chelsea team of 2012, because I think he's having a pop at the owners as well. Maybe they've done something to him because that's why he because of the hatred, I don't know, because he's saying, oh, the 2012 team, Chelsea's team that won the Champions League that year, they'll be embarrassed to win this tournament, or I can't remember what the exact words that he said. But if you can remember, the 2012 Chelsea team weren't the best team in London that year. Tottenham, Chelsea stopped. I think the ruling was changed after the Liverpool-Everton fiasco, and then Chelsea stopped Tottenham, who finished above them, from qualifying for the Champions League by winning it themselves. So they weren't even the best team in London, but they won the Champions League. So that argument that you made is flawed as well. So even in that same article, you've embarrassed yourself. Make that make sense? And so I think Oliver Holt was one of the ones who was reveling at Chelsea's demise when we were in danger of extinction. I'm sure that he was one of the ones who was voicing for Chelsea to be kicked out of the Premier League and out of existence. So, as I said, don't know what we've done to upset this guy, but his hatred for Chelsea is just so blatant. And Chelsea should give him the Ken Bates treatment. If I was Todd Bowley, I'd give him the Ken Bates treatment. He's not kept stepping foot inside of Chelsea again, not benefiting of us feeding off free sandwiches and stuff. If he's going to write all this negativity about the club, I'll just give him a banning order from now. He doesn't deserve to be in any Chelsea matches in the future. So, yeah, he's just a waste of a journalist, and I can't even call him a journalist because he's not. He's just more of a fanzine writer, a rage baiter, whatever. So that's my take on Mr. Holt. But you know what? After having said all that, I am a man of God, so he can be forgiven. So that's it. Anyway, what do you think about this Oliver Holt situation? Let me know in the comment section below. And what do you think about all our transfer activities? Again, let me know. So don't forget, like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so that you'll be notified every time I make a new video. So take care. Bye-bye.